Hey y'all. So I finally finished The Four Winds by Kristen Hanna. This book definitely wrecked me. I know I said it in my midway review last week, but I wasn't done with the book and now I'm done. And I have never been this emotional during and after reading a book. I literally had to get myself together before coming on to film this, and I was just like, you know what? Who cares? If it made me sad, it makes me sad. Um, but very captivating story, heartbreaking, so very heartbreaking, and I want to say it. It was an emotional roller coaster, but roller coasters go up and down. With this, I just felt down. And it's not in a bad way. The way she captured the story of these characters was beautifully done. It's a spectacular read. It's just so heartbreaking. We're following Elsa, who is in Texas, and she's on this farm that she loves, and she doesn't want to leave even though there's droughts and there's no crops, and she can't feed the animals, therefore she can't feed her children. And her daughter, who name is Loretta, who is very strong-willed, is constantly begging and pleading with her mom to let's just go to California, there's jobs out there, let's just go, the land is killing us. And Elsa just did not want to give up on the land. She kept thinking that rain would come someday, and it took her son Anthony getting sick that pushed her to the point where, you know what, my child is dying, I gotta go. So they go off on this journey to California, and they get there, and it's not any better. It's not any better. It's not the life that they thought they were gonna have. And once they get there, they get to this camp called the Welty Camp, and Elsa meets the first person there that's nice to her, and she takes a liking to, and that's her friend Jean. And Jean is just a total sweetheart. She's pregnant at the time, but it's a camp, and there's disgusting and deplorable conditions, and it's just because they're making low wages, they have to accept it just so they can live. But are they really living? Children suffering, people are hungry, they're picking cotton for 75 cents a day just to feed their families, and even that's not enough. And just the things that Elsa's going through as a mother. Her husband left when they were back in Texas because he just couldn't take the issues with the weather and the droughts and stuff like that. He just couldn't take it, so he left and he was gone. So she was on her own. Besides, his parents were there, of course, but it was her and her children. So they left together to California. So she's trying to do what she thinks is best as a mom, but at the same time, she's scared. And there were times where I was frustrated with Elsa because I was like, come on. I mean, your children, you're struggling. Just go, just do it. But you know what? We're all on a different timeline, and when you reach your limit is when you reach your limit. It may not be the same for somebody else, and it took Elsa having to get to a certain point to realize that. And they just go through sickness and death and things like that. And Loretta is a very strong-willed little girl. She's 13, and the best word to describe her is grit. She just did not want to stand for these conditions that her little brother and her mom had to go through. So she was big on trying to fight for that. And there were times where Elsa actually looked up to her daughter because she never really was strong-willed like her daughter was. And I don't know. As a mother, I resonate with this story so much. And I just want to share just some quotes from this, just what they were going through. I just felt like, gosh, are we going to ever get a break in this book? I mean, is something good going to happen? And I guess when you think about it, this is historical fiction, women fiction, but to me, this is women facts. Mothers, we go through this stuff sometimes. It may be a different time now, but we still have issues. and things that we need to, you know, try to overcome daily for our children. But this, it was just so heartbreaking. But one of the quotes I wanted to share is when they were on the Welty camp and Elsa was looking at her sleeping children, and this is what she said. She said, or this is what she thought to herself. She thought, even in the midst of all the hardship and failure, I have raised good children, kind, caring, and loving people. And sometimes, you know, you have to look at that and appreciate that, because we look at things and, you know, personal items and, you know, status, having money, having things as the end all be all. But what I like about this story and what it says over and over in this story is, I'm gonna go back and look at it real quick because I want to make sure I get it right. Love is what remains when everything else is gone. And as a mother myself, I believe that. I really wholeheartedly believe that. Yes, I want to give my kids things, but there are times I couldn't give them things. But I think in the end, like in this story, they'll be able to look back and say that I provided them with love and caring, compassionate experiences. And it was very emotional. It resonated with me so much, you guys. I know, I'm sorry this is long, but it was just so captivating, this story. This has never happened before. I just cannot believe it. And, you know, it's just the things that these women think, you know, as they're dying and they have their children there, and they're just, what Jean said to herself, I had so much more to say to you all. And it's just, that was just so heartbreaking. It just was. It was just so heartbreaking. I want to leave you with a quote from this book that I absolutely love. A warrior believes in an end she can't see and fights for it. A warrior never gives up. A warrior fights for those weaker than herself. It sounds like motherhood to me. This is a beautiful story. If you haven't read it, give it a read. Talk to you guys later. Bye.